Hello viewers, welcome back. So this is part 7 of our series in Billwise detail. So in the last session, we saw the adjustment of advance and on account. And in today's session, we will be discussing about the advanced feature, or you can call it as additional feature under Billwise detail, where it is not just you can have Billwise detail for your trading account, which is basically Billwise detail. See, normally when we talk about Billwise detail, the first thing that flashes our mind is that Billwise detail will be enabled for your sundry debtors and sundry creditors, basically for your sales and purchases. But Tally also offers the Billwise detail feature uh, beyond your trading accounts, which is your non-trading account also. So we will try and understand in today's session what are these non-trading accounts, and also we will see what kind of non-trading accounts we can enable Billwise detail, so that it gives us better control over these payables and receivables apart from your normal trading payable and receivable account. Okay? So we will call this as leveraging Billwise detail. So how can you leverage this feature of Billwise detail for non-trading account also? So one is that yes, we can enable Billwise detail for non-trading account. So we will see how to enable Billwise detail for non-trading account and how to manage Billwise detail for non-trading account also. So first, let us try and understand what are these non-trading account. So non-trading account, uh, basically, if you see, apart from these regular periodic receivable and payment, there are other kind of receivables and payments which generally you would want to track. And especially the reason for tracking all this receivable and payable, if you see, the core objective of the business is to have better control over the cash flow, right? So I can take examples of non-trading account, like in businesses, you would have taken some loans where your liability to repay these loans would be on a monthly EMI basis. Okay, that is one kind of loan. For example, you would have taken a term loan for machinery, or for buying some asset, or buying some vehicle, where you have a fixed monthly commitment to be made. So normally, if you see, you would probably use some other tool for tracking this. Maybe you would set up in the calendar a reminder or something for you to know that okay, on these particular dates is what is your liability on a monthly basis. So instead of doing that outside Tally, you can enable this Billwise detail for these kind of non-trading accounts, and you can now start tracking your monthly liability. See, the advantage is when you go to your receivable and payable management, which we already saw in our previous sessions. When you see this payable, so in this case, basically it becomes your payable. So once you start tracking this using the Billwise feature, we will see how to enable and how to pass the entries for tracking this in Tally. We will see the advantages that along with your other payables, these amounts also will reflect along with the due date. So you would know that on what date these amounts have to be paid off, so that you have better visibility of your cash flow, so that you are meeting the commitment without defaulting on your regular payment. And we know that in case if you are defaulting, what is the implication that we would have on our credibility. Okay. So this is one example. So all your term loans and any loans where you have availed for business purpose and which has got a monthly commitment. The other kind of a thing. So the example is handling of your loan installment. This is what basically I was talking about. Now there are other kind of receivables which normally apart from your trading receivable. Example that I can take is that you might have salary advances as a company policy. Maybe you would have I mean, like a loan facility or advance facility for your employees. So some companies, they have multiple loan facilities or advance facilities for their employees welfare. Example, in your organization you might have uh, emergency loan, medical loan, vehicle loan, festival loan. So various kinds of loans are there. See, normally what happens if you are trying to account these loans. So let's say you have, I will take an example. Let us say that you have three kinds of loan which you provide to your employees. So one is, let us say, uh, medical loan or vehicle loan. So these are the two types. For example, normally what you would do, you will create a ledger in the name of the employee and you will put it under the group loans and advances, because these are the money that you are going to receive. And here again, when you are providing loan to your employees, normally the repayment is going to be again on a monthly basis, where you might have uh, 10 monthly installments or whatever is the periodicity that you have determined for each type of loan. So the general tendency is that you create the name of the employee and then you put employee A emergency loan, and whatever loan you are giving, you are going to debit that particular ledger. Then let's say the same employee now is eligible for a vehicle loan. So you again give him a vehicle loan. So you will again create, because you need to now track, right? So what type of loan, when did you give, and when is the recovery, or in how many installments you have to recover. So normally what you would do, you will create another ledger in the name of the employee, and maybe you would put it in brackets saying that vehicle loan. So you already have two ledger for this employee. Just imagine in your organization, if you have say about 50 employees, where uh, all of them are availing these loans. So you land up creating. Let's take again a simple use case that each of your 50 employees has got two types of loan, and now you will have 100 ledgers created for tracking the receivable, the loan amount to be received from each of the employee for different nature of loan that you have provided. So again, your masters is going to become pretty large, and then when you see your balance sheet, you are going to have this long list of names and all those things, which is really not required from a financial reporting point of view. So how do we handle this? Now this is where Tally is going to help you, where you can actually have one single ledger created for one single employee, and you can, using this feature of Billwise detail, you can actually uh, give any kind of loan. Maybe let's say an employee has taken three different loans from your organization. You don't need to create three separate ledger for your employee. You will just create one ledger in the name of the employee, and we will see how can we now start managing this multiple loan with the number of installments of repayment in one single ledger. And again, since we are enabling this bill-wise detail, when you are going to your receivable report, you are going to get the list of all these loans which are to be received on a monthly basis. So this is exactly what we will be understanding about the additional or the advanced features under Billwise detail in Tally. So we will now quickly, I will just quickly show you how do you enable these options in Tally Prime, and also how do you enable this option in Tally ERP. First, we will see in Tally ERP how do we enable Billwise detail for non-trading account also. So before enabling, I just want to show you that the Billwise detail by default, when you enable Billwise detail, it is going to uh, enable the Billwise detail for all the ledgers that you are creating under your sundry debtors and sundry creditors. Okay. So quickly, let me just show. So you go to accounts info, ledger. Okay. So let's say I alter and then I say this is my party account. Okay, so in the party account here you will see. So let's go to our same example of India Mart. Okay, so in the India Mart, if you see here, we have this Billwise detail by default. It gets enabled. Now, again, if you see in the earlier party account, like for example, I have this Athwai Enterprises, where the Billwise detail is set to no. Now, what is the impact in case if this Billwise detail is set to no? What happens? Now, again, let's take a use case. You have customers where, for some customers, you would have a very rare uh, invoicing that you're going to do, and you immediately, the payment is collected and then only the sales is made, right? So in those cases, if you don't want to maintain bill-wise detail, because in any case you're not going to have any outstanding for that particular customer. Let's say, for example, this Advai Enterprises, whenever I'm going to do an invoice to this particular person, I'm going to collect the payment immediately, either by way of check or through online transfer. And once the amount gets transferred, then I'm going to make an invoice to this particular person. So I don't want to unnecessarily have, these kind of customers where there is no need for me to track outstanding. So in that case, what can you do? So very simple. You come to those trading account masters, that is your customers or your sundry debtors ledgers and your sundry creditors ledgers, where if you don't want bill wise detail, you can go and maintain bill by bill to no. Once you make bill by bill to know, whenever you are making a purchase entry or sale entry for this particular customer, then the billwise subscreen is not going to open up. Okay. Similarly, when you are receiving payment, the billwise subscreen is not going to open up. So billwise is will not be enabled for these customers where you have made maintain bill by bill to no. Now, at any point in time, at later on, if you feel that okay, now this customer seems to be a regular customer, and you have built a rapport with this particular customer, now you want to extend credit facility to this particular customer. So once you start extending credit facility, then obviously you need bill-wise detail for you to track the outstanding. So you can always come here at any point in time, and then you can make this bill-wise detail to yes. Okay, and the other things we have already seen in our previous session. Okay, now, so this is the bill-wise detail is getting enabled automatically. You are getting this option called maintain bill by bill for all the ledgers created under sundry creditors or sundry debtors. Okay. Now let us say I want to create a ledger called uh, SBI vehicle loan, whatever loan number, whatever is the ledger that you are going to have it. Now this is going to be under secured loans. could be secured, unsecured. Normally, it is going to be a secured loan because you have to hypothecate your vehicle to the bank. So you will normally put it under secured loans. Now, when I put it under secured loans, you see here we don't have this billwise detail. Now, why do I need this billwise detail? I want to now break up my installment uh, here using the billwise detail feature, so that on a monthly basis I can start tracking. That is the whole purpose of managing billwise detail for non-trading account. Okay, so I'm not getting this option. So if I want to enable billwise detail for these kind of ledgers, what am I supposed to do? Very simple. You have to remember that in Tally ERP and in Tally Prime, you have this F11 feature. Okay, there is a slight variation in the way you are enabling the billwise detail for non-trading account in Tally ERP and in Tally Prime. So that's the reason why I started with Tally ERP. It's a very simple thing, easy to remember. So what you do, you go to F11 feature. When I go to F11 feature, now directly from here you can go to F11 feature. When you go to F11 feature, so this is your accounting feature. So we have already seen this earlier. So there are inventory features, various other features which you can enable. Then there are statutory features which you can enable, and various other things are there, right? So since my bill-based detail is part of my accounting feature, we had seen this earlier. We said that maintain bill by bill. We made this as yes. And also, if you recall, I had mentioned in the initial session that we will discuss about this non-trading account at a later session. So that is what we are going to see now in this session. So do you want to maintain bill-wise detail for non-trading account also? So you say, yes, I want to maintain bill-wise detail for non-trading account also. Just press Y, press enter, and press Control A. Now, the moment you enabled bill-wise detail for non-trading account, you will notice that now the option of maintaining bill by bill is available for your non-trading account also. Okay, so any account which is not part of your sundry debtors and sundry creditors, the bill wise detail will be available, and then you can go and enable for the respective or relevant ledgers for for which you need to track bill wise. So I'm going to come here, and then I'm going to make it as yes. Okay, so again, you really, there is no default credit period here. So you can leave this blank. So one more important thing, that supposing, so you might be having this question in your mind. Okay, fine. But then, let us assume that I already have a loan which was availed in the previous year, and now in the current year, after you have learned this additional feature where you can use bill-wise detail for non-trading account also, how can you now bring those things where probably you would have paid some installment in the previous year, let's say 12-month period, and let's say you have availed the loan in the month of January 2021, and now we are in the financial year which is 21-22. So which means literally January, February, and March you have already cleared off your monthly liability. So now, so when you are bringing in the opening balance, you can now, so you have this amount. So let's say 1,20,000 is the loan that you have taken for 12-month period, which means 10,000 per month is what you are supposed to pay EMI. I'm not considering interest part, so interest will also be there. So just for simplicity of understanding, let's assume that your monthly EMI liability is going to be 10,000 rupees. So now, out of this 1,20,000, 30,000 already you have paid. 3 months is already paid. So now your balance is only 90,000. So supposing if you are creating a new company where you are bringing your opening balances of your balance sheet item into Tally. So where generally when people are moving into Tally, where the company is already existing. So you will normally enter the opening balances. So while entering the opening balances, now this example holds good for your trading uh, bills also, where you have outstanding of your customer and where outstanding that you have to pay to your supplier. If you want to incorporate those opening balances along with the bill wise detail with the due date of the payment, you can do this. So that is what I'm going to show here. So just leave this default credit period, and you come here, and let's say this is the case where you are first time creating your company, and if you already have your balance sheet information in some other system, you are going to incorporate those opening balances here. So that's the example that I'm giving here. So let's say now 90,000 is what is the balance outstanding. So you are going to enter this opening balance. Now you have to basically specify that the next 9 months that you have to clear. That means from April to December you have to clear this. So the idea of enabling bill-wise detail is, can I track this on a month-on-month basis, my liability, which should form part of my payable report. So that's what we are going to see here. So I'm going to enter 90,000. And the moment I enter here, again, tally based on the grouping that you have done. So again, during our fundamental and the introduction to tally, I had discussed that how tally will automatically recognize these masters, and how tally has incorporated these fundamentals of accounts into the system, so that you really don't have to worry that whether this information is going to get reported on the liability side, asset side of the balance sheet, or on the expenditure side or income side of the profit and loss account, because we have understood that putting this under is a very very critical aspect while creating the master. So under is nothing but your parent. So I'm just repeating this. So I'm going to do this. So because it is my loan liability and sundry creditor, tally automatically takes the balance as credit. Okay. Now we have enabled billwise detail, we have made billwise detail as yes. Now you notice what happens. Now the moment I enter here, so Tally is now asking you to provide bill-wise breakup of your SBI vehicle loan in case of your customer or your supplier. So you can say what is the date of the invoice that you have raised in the previous year, and what was the invoice number. This in this case you have to enter this manually. So if there are 4 bills pending from the previous year, you enter the date of the invoice, enter the invoice number. In case of your purchase, enter the supplier invoice number. If whatever is the credit period that you are enjoying for that particular bill, you can enter the credit period also. So that way what happens, the opening balance also will now start reflecting in your outstanding statement. So in this case, let us say here I'm going to enter the loan number. Okay, whatever is the loan number. Okay, or I'm going to say that I will put it as okay, so I'll just say loan number 009. Okay, enter. And now what happens, the entire amount is coming. So now if I save this, then it is going to tell me that okay, as on 1st April 90,000 is outstanding. Now I know this 90,000 is outstanding, but then I want to now know month on month what is my liability, so that every month when I go to my liability statement, it should reflect only that much of the amount which is liable. Otherwise, if you are now taking this entire amount, it is going to show you entire 90,000 is outstanding. So let's do this. Okay, I'm going to save this. Okay, I've captured this and I'm saying Control A, and I'm going to accept this. Now let's come to display. Okay, then statement of account, then outstanding. Okay, so then I'm going to go to payable, right? So here if I say all item, it is now going to give me all the payables which are there. But here if you see the first one that you are seeing, which is their opening balance, that is why it is coming on top. It says that loan number SBI vehicle loan 90,000 is outstanding. Okay, so this is on 31st March. So our date is 6th December, so it says 250 days outstanding. But now this is not what we wanted. You want to know in the month of December, right? So what is the amount that is due to be paid in this particular month? Okay. So what we do is we can come back to the master, and this is what is very interesting thing that you can do in the Billwise detail. So I go to accounts info, ledger, alter, and then I'm going to say SBI vehicle loan, right? You come here, click here. Now what you do is you now start breaking it up. So how are you going to break this up? You're going to say that on 1st April, okay, so you call this as INST, installment number 4, because you have already cleared your 3 installments. So installment number, so this you take this as your opening date. So you can take this as uh, mm, 31st March 20, right? And you say this is installment number. You can also put like this, installment 4 of 12, so that you know that what is your total EMI period. Okay. So when is it going to be due? So it is going to be due on, say, let's say it is going to be due on end of every month. So you say 34 it is going to be due. How much is the amount it is going to be due? 10,000 is what is going to be due for the month of April. So you say 10,000. Okay. Now you have to allocate up to 90,000. So it means balance 80,000. You can now see literally what are we learning here is that any outstanding amount, you can split it. You can split the outstanding amount for various due dates. So that's exactly what we are trying to do here. So come here, then again you say, um, uh, uh, so this is again your invoice opening balance date. So here what you do, you can do one more thing. Instead of typing again and again, you press Control Alt C and then come down, then press Control Alt V and then make this as 5 bar 12, or you can type it 5 bar 12, enter. And this is going to be due on 31st April, May, sorry, 31st May. So this is going to be due 10,000. Okay, so again you enter, this is your opening balance, INST 6 of 12. Okay, so this is going to be due on 30th June, 10,000. I hope you are now getting the feel of what I'm trying to show here. Okay, so just enter March MAR, it will automatically take. So then again you say installments 7 of 12. Okay, so this is going to be uh, due on 31st July, which is 10,000. Okay, so again MAR INST 8 of 12, August 10,000. Okay, again this is the March bill outstanding. This is installment 9 of 12, September 10,000, March bill installment 10 of 12. This is going to be due October 10,000, March bill installment 11 of 12. This is going to be due in the month of November 10,000. Okay, March installment 12 of 12, which is going to be your last installment to settle. And this is going to be in the month of December. Okay, so this is how you can actually split the bill. Okay, so that way now based on the due date, as you progress with your current date, Tally is going to show you. So in case if you are in the month of April, Tally is now not going to show you entire 90,000 rupees as outstanding for the month of April as on that date. It is going to show you only 10,000 as outstanding because the others are all not due yet. Okay, enter, accept. Okay, now let's come to display uh, statement of accounts, outstanding, O for outstanding. Then let's take the ledger. Ledger L, enter. Now I'm going to say SBI vehicle loan. And if you see here, all this has become due because we are seeing this on 6th of December, which is the current date. So all this 10,000 has become bold, which means all these pending amounts have not been cleared. And it also tells you here, if you come to this ledger account, loan account, you're going to see that the next installment, which is November and December, it is not. November is due because you are in the 6th of December. December month is not due. It is going to be due only on 31st of December. Okay. So supposing if I just shift this date April to April, enter, and you will see that this is due as on today. It says due on 30th, which has become bold because the current reporting period is 30th of April. So this way, you will you will actually know month on month what are the amounts which are due. So this is how you can manage your bill-wise detail for your non-trading account also. Now, now we will see how are we going to handle this in Tally Prime, and in the next session we will see how do we capture in a similar way it is how do we capture any new loan which you want to break it up into monthly EMI while recording the transaction in Tally, and also we will see how do you handle multiple loan of an employee through the bill-wise detail feature. Okay, so I hope this is clear. This is in case of the opening balance. Now quickly let's go to Tally Prime, and we will see how do we now. First is the way we have entered the breakup of your outstanding balance is going to be the same in Tally Prime also. But important thing is that you should know that where will you go and enable bill-wise detail for non-trading account also. This is where there is a slight uh, uh, feature enablement interface difference from Tally ERP to Tally Prime. Okay, so now, so let's go to create. I'm going to go to create. Okay, so I'm going to select ledger. So let's take the same thing, vehicle loan, enter. So this is under secured loan, right? So now the bill-wise detail is not coming, right? So the bill-wise detail is not coming. So we know that, okay, in F11 feature, I have to go and enable. So you go to F11 feature. Now here in the F11 feature, if you see, there is just, you have this option called enable bill-wise detail. So you have made this as yes, right? But in Tally ERP, we had another secondary option where in the feature itself, Tally was asking you, the moment you make enable bill-wise detail to yes, then it was asking you, do you want to enable bill-wise detail for non-trading account also? Now that is not here, right? So where are we going to go and enable this? So that is what is important for us to understand now. So I'm going to say Control A, and still my bill-wise detail is not coming for non-trading account. Now remember your secret number 2. So press F12 configuration, and now under the F12 configuration, you have this maintain bill by bill. We have already made yes in F11, right? So now it is asking you, do you want to enable bill-wise detail for non-trading account also? So this is the slight difference in enabling the bill-wise detail for non-trading account from Tally ERP to Tally Prime. Okay, so I'm going to make this as yes, enter, Control A, and now you have this bill-wise detail, right? So now you can come here and enable this bill-wise detail. Okay, default credit period, leave it as it is. So again, when you are entering the opening balance, so the same kind of an experience you will get now. Okay, enter, it will automatically take it as credit. Enter, again the same screen that you are getting. So you know now how you can do this. Okay, so the reference here is important for you to know what is the number of installment that you're going to do, and you can be innovative in capturing the name of the reference the way you wanted it, so that it becomes easy for you to uh, you know understand or comprehend or have control over your outstanding amount. Okay, due date, again you are going to enter month wise breakup you are going to do, and the amount also you are going to uh, break it up. So it says now, it again here it says you give me the bill wise breakup up to 90,000 rupees. So in case of a trading account, what happens, let us say your sundry debtors is outstanding for 90,000 rupees. Okay, let's assume that this is your sundry debtors. Now you would have a bill. Maybe one bill might be outstanding in the month of February. One bill might be outstanding in the month of March, right? So let's say that you give 60-day credit. Now in case of 60-day credit, then February month outstanding, you are going to get in the month of April. March month outstanding, you are going to get in the month of May. So you need to know that when is this money going to come. So in that case, what you do here, you enter the original invoice number. So let us say that you had raised an invoice uh, on 25th of February. So your sale invoice number was 125, and you had given this party a 60-day credit. The moment you just put 60-day credit, now Tally is going to track and it is going to tell you this amount is going to be due on 25th of April only. Okay. So here maybe let us say this amount is 50,000. Okay, now next bill that you have made is 15th of March. Okay, so bill number 156, enter, and again you are given 60-day credit. So all this information you need to enter manually. So you are now given two bill references, one bill reference which was for the month of February and March. Enter this, and now it has taken the entire 90,000 breakup of your invoice. Accept it, save it. It is going to show you the outstanding based on the due date. Just know what we saw. Okay, so this basically would give you an idea of how you can, one is enable bill-wise detail for non-trading account. And also in this session, we have seen how do you enter the bill-wise breakup in case of the balance when you are capturing as a opening balance. Like I mentioned, we will see in the next session how do we start capturing the transaction with the bill-wise detail. Now, before that, quickly, I would just want to show, in case, let's take a use case. You make a sale invoice to a customer. Okay, so I'm not going to save this. Let's say you are making a sales invoice. So today is say 10th of January, right? So what is the current date? Yeah, current date, my last date of voucher entry in here is 10th of January. So let's say I'm going to make a new sales invoice to my customer. So I'm going to press F8. So today I'm making a sales invoice, and okay, my customer is again, let's take India Mart. Okay. Now it says two bills of India Mart is outstanding. Due date is exceeded, right? So due date is already exceeded. And again, in this case, if you see, we had, if you recollect in the previous session, the current balance is 2 lakh 50. The credit limit is also 2 lakh 50. So I can't now raise an invoice until and unless I go and extend the credit limit. So let's just take another customer. Uh, let's take another customer, which is, let's take this customer. Okay, to enter. Okay, so now the current balance, we have not set any credit limit for this particular customer. So I'm going to make sales, and let us say I'm going to supply three numbers. So 1 lakh 80. Now, when I am doing this invoice to my customer, we have an arrangement. So where I'm going to tell him that 50% you have to pay within 10 days and balance 50% you pay me within 30 days. That is the arrangement of the credit facility that I have with this particular customer. So how am I going to handle this, right? So come here. Again, you have this new reference. I'm sure you are familiar now. So come to new reference. Okay. So new reference is your sales invoice number. So what you do, you say sales invoice number 21A. Okay. So this is going to be due in 10 days. 90,000 is going to be due. Okay. So here it says bill-wise detail up to 1,80,000 you have to provide. So what I've done now, I have split this amount into 90. So now Tally will ask me what is the balance 90, what is the reference. So I'm going to come here and here I'm going to say 21B, enter, and I'm going to give 30 days credit. So if you notice here, now when I go to my outstanding statement, it is going to give me on 20th of January, I am supposed to receive 90,000 and on 9th February, I'm going to receive 90,000. So this way, in your invoice, in your normal trading invoice also, you can break up the outstanding amount for different period as per the uh, your business function or your business norms. Okay, so this is what I just want to show this, which I had missed out in the previous session. So I'm going to save this. Right, so now let us come to outstanding statement. So I go to display. Okay, then I go to statement of account, then I go to outstanding, then let's select the ledger, and then I'm going to select Aditya Birla, right? So it says here that uh, two bills are overdue, which is bold, and the new bill that we raised. Okay, so one reference 21A, I'm supposed to receive on 20th of January, so it is not due as on date. And then on 10th of January, which I have raised the same invoice. So the reference number I have given, see the reference number, you can't have the same reference number, right? So you need to have a different unique number for you to track. Okay. So 21B, you have on 9th February, this is going to be due. Okay. So this is how you see this. So here, if we notice that it is going to give you the overdue bill and also bills which are due, but which is outstanding, but it is not due as on today. That is as on 10th of January. Now, if you want to see only the overdue bills, right? So how can you see? There are two ways of doing this. One is that you can filter the outstanding report here and view only overdue bills, because these bills in any case you're not going to get as on today. So as on today, what are you supposed to receive and what are the bills which are pending, which you have not received, which have fallen due. Okay. So to see that, you see on the right hand side there is this button, your secret number one. Okay, so the basis of value, click on the basis of value and then type of bills. Okay, by default, it will have the spending bills. Just press enter and you say that I want to see only overdue bills. Okay, and then you can just see here. Now, all the bills which are not due as on date will not get reflected here. Only those bills which are due as on today and bills which have been due for the previous period, which has not been paid, which is still outstanding, is what you are going to see this. So this is one way of filtering this report. The other way is that you have something called as exceptional report, where you want to see as on today what is the total amount which is overdue, which you have not received, and what is the total amount which is overdue, which you are not paid. Okay, so it is basically overdue receivable and overdue payable. So first I'll show you the menu path. So you got to display more report, where we are here, display more report, and then here you have this option called exception report. So we will cover in a separate session what are these exception report and how do you interpret these exceptions for each of the nature. We will see that in a separate session, but currently I'm just going to show you the overdue. So only thing is that we will see all this other thing later. See here, overdue receivables, right? So it is going to give you a list of all the pending which are overdue as on today. So just go to overdue receivable. You will find all these bills which are overdue. You are seeing this all this in bold, and it is also telling you by how many days this is overdue. Okay. There are more reporting that we will cover in our concluding session in Billwise detail. What are all the different types of views that you can have in your Billwise detail? We will cover later. Thank you all once again for staying till the end. See you all in the next session. Thank you very much.